Welcome to all of our 11th to 12th students. Today we are going to see about the capacitors. Capacitor is a major electronic element used in many electronic circuits, but there we can store a charges and makes to discharge also. So that's why capacitor is used to store the charges. At the time of storing charges, their electrical energy also stored. That storing charges can be discharged by the possible discharging path. Anyhow, this capacitor used in many electronic circuits. Example, used in oscillators. Oscillator can generate electromagnetic signals which has a high frequency. That high frequency depends upon that value of that capacitor's capacitance, as well as there we have another element called as a inductor. So anyhow, now we are going to see about the capacitor. So capacitor is a device is used to store a electric charge and electrical energy. Once I listen. Electric charge and energy. Okay, capacitor is a device used to store the electric charge and energy, that is electrical energy, and also this energy also named as a electrostatic potential energy. Potential energy. Okay. This capacitor is used in many electronic circuits. Okay. Example for that electric circuits, that is electronic circuits are oscillators. Oscillators can generate electromagnetic signals, that is high frequency electromagnetic signals. It is used in radio or TV receivers. To that oscillators in these TV or radio receivers generate high frequency signals. Then that signals frequency is depends upon that capacitor capacitance. Capacitance and L value, that is another one of that electronic element called as a inductor. There that inductor has a inductance L. Anyhow, this capacitor is used in oscillators to generate a high frequency signals. Okay. Next, another example we have in ignition system. Ignition system. Ignition system in automobile engines. Which one is called as ignition system? Means system which is used to start a engine with a key. If you taken a car, in that car if you want to start, means want to put a key, at the time engine is started. For starting that engine, electrical energy is supplied from that automobile batteries. Before starting that car, that battery is fully charged. That fully charged battery directly connected to the engine means it supplies a larger amount of charges. If suddenly supplies the larger amount of charges, there sparks can be produced. For eliminating that sparks in that automobile engines, there we are using a capacitors. So how the sparks are eliminated means, initially the battery is supplying larger amount of charges, okay, more than that required charge that the battery is supplying. That excess charges can be stored by using a capacitor to eliminate the spark. So that is why the capacitors are used in a ignition system. Okay. Next, in a fan, electric fan, ceiling fan, there we are using a capacitor that may called as a condenser. The capacitor also called as a condenser. In electrical devices, the capacitor is another named as a condenser. If the condenser is worked properly, when you switch on a fan, automatically starts to rotate. For initially, it requires a fan requires a larger amount of electrical energy. The line voltage or line current directly if you given, there the starting rotation cannot able to rotate by that line voltage or line current. For that, there we want to supply a excess electrical energy by the capacitor or named as a condenser, can be supplies the required excess energy, electrical energy. Then the fan starts to rotate. You can see some days the old fan cannot working. What reason is there means, the electrician first switch on the fan is not rotated. At the time he starts to rotate with mechanically. Once again the fan is continues to operate. The reason is there, the condenser is not working. Condenser is nothing but a capacitor is not working. So that is why in a ceiling fan we required a capacitor to starts to rotate. That is why another usage can be taken as fans. That is a ceiling fans, we are using the condenser named as a capacitor. Capacitor another name condenser. Anyhow, other than that we have lot of examples we have, because in most of that electronic circuits we use that capacitor. We use the capacitor, but major is it stores the charge. At the time of storing charge, electrical energy also stored. At the time of storing charge, electrical energy also stored. Anyhow, any device, if it is working means that worked under a certain principles. So here for our capacitor having a principle, capacitors having a principle called as a electrostatic induction. principle of capacitor is nothing but a electrostatic induction. What is electrostatic induction? We are producing a charges in an uncharged body without contact with a charged body. That process is called as a electrostatic induction. We are producing a charges or inducing a charges in an uncharged body without contact with a charged body. Producing a charges in uncharged body without contact with the charged body. Okay. In a capacitor, using principle is electrostatic induction. In that electrostatic induction process is nothing but a producing or inducing a charges in an uncharged body without contact with a charged body. Without contact with a charged body. We have many type of capacitors. The simple capacitor is nothing but a parallel plate capacitors. So, how we can produce a parallel plate capacitors? The two metal plates which are having a rectangular shape and certain larger area, the two plates are going to place in a certain shortest distance. Example, I am going to take a paper, but that is going to consider as a metal plate. These are two papers. These two papers is considered as a two metal plates. If the two metal plates are placed parallel with each other and very close to each other, that can be form a simple capacitor. That is, in our diagram, simple capacitor is nothing but a two plates we are going to tackle, may named as X and Y, but we consider the two plates are in a rectangular shapes. That rectangular shape of that plates may has a certain area. We are going to represent as a area of each plate. Here we are going to take two plates which are having a equal areas. First, X plate is having a area, surface area, and Y plate also having a surface area A, and they are that X and Y plates are going to placed in a short distance d distance. The d value is very small. Suppose that area of the plate is 1 meter square, then the distance between the plates may consider as a 1 millimeter or less than 1 millimeter. So, too close the two plates are going to placed. The two metal plates which are having a equal areas placed very short distance, the two form a capacitor. But what principle is used there? Electrostatic induction. So, we consider X plate is a charged plate. If you given a charges, that considers a charged plate. Charged plate. If the charged plate is going to place near that uncharged plate, then generally that symbol of the capacitor, two parallel plates, First plate is X and Y, and here we are grounding. The second plate is going to ground. Now we are given the charges to that X plate which are having a area, but I am given plus Q charge, positive charges. Before giving a charges, the two plates also, that is X and Y plate, both the plates are uncharged plate. Anyhow, now I am giving a charges to that X plate, but that Y plate is very nearer to that X plate, but without giving a charges. But anyhow, I am connecting that Y plate to that ground. Is a system of a simplest capacitor. If you given a charges to that X plate, their charges are induced. What kind of charges induced means? If you are given that positive charges to that one plate, negative charges are induced. The process of inducing charges in that Y plate without contacting that charged X plate is called as here electrostatic induction. That is why here we are using a principle is called as here electrostatic induction. Okay. This is forming a simple capacitor. Other than this, we have some other type of capacitors. We have cylindrical capacitors, spherical capacitors, and other than these two, we have a multi conductors, parallel capacitors. Anyhow, now we are going to see about that simple capacitor which are made by the two parallel plates having a area A, and the two are placed very close to each other. For supplying a charges, from where to we can supply a charges to the X plate? By using a battery. By using a battery or a cell, we can supply a charges to that X plate. Here we are supplying positive charges. Before supplying that positive charges, that metal plate is uncharged, electrically neutral. The charges, what kind of charges produce? Positive charges. By the removal of electron, that becomes a positive. How it becomes a negative? Addition of electrons makes. That is why this capacitor is going to connect with a battery. The capacitor's symbol should be very clear. Simplest capacitor is a parallel plate capacitor. Two plates must be placed parallel, and that is going to connect with a battery. Okay. First plate is X, second plate is Y. If this capacitor is connected to that battery, if you switch on the battery, it supplies the electrical energy. What action is happened means, in one plate electrons are removed. If it is a conductor, it has a free charges. It has free charges. Which one is act as a free charges? Free electrons act as a free charges. So that is why before switch on the battery, the two plates are neutral and both are having a free electrons. Anyhow, now I am going to switch on a battery. In the X plate, free electrons are attracted by the positive terminal. Attracted by the positive terminal. If it is attracted, because it is a conductor, can be that electrons can be moved from the X plate towards the positive terminal. Battery has certain transfer of charges only. It will not gain or lose the charges. So that's why charges, that is electrons, are removed by the positive terminal. Listen here, we are going to connect the capacitor to a battery. Before switch on the battery, capacitor's two plates are uncharged. The two metal plates are electrically neutral. Now, if you switch on a battery, from your one plate, electrons are removed. The removed electrons are going to place to that another plate. Where the electrons are removed, that plate becomes a positive. X plate becomes a positive. Then at the same instant, the removed electron are going to place on that another plate. That's why Y plate becomes a negative. What quantity of charge is removed from a electrons are removed from a X plate, the same amount of electrons are going to place on that Y plate. That's why X plate becomes a positive charged, has a magnitude, can be represented as a plus Q. The same amount of electron, removed same amount of electron is going to place on that Y plate. That's why that plate's charge can be taken as minus Q. This process of electrons removed from one plate to place to the other plates are happening up to that the potential difference developed across the two plates, which is equal to that battery potential. If this induced potential Vi is less than battery potential, the process is going. When the process of charges movements are stopped, means induced potential difference equal to, that is the potential difference of that battery. If these two are equal, the process of removing of electron and addition of electrons are stopped. At the time, the potential difference is developed. The developed potential difference equal to that battery potential. Anyhow, we are saying the charges in a X plate is positive charge and Y plate is a negative charge. Net charge means net charge of the capacitor equal to 0. We are saying net charge on the capacitor is a 0. So, what reason is there means what quantity of positive charge in a one plate, the same quantity in a another plate in a negative value. That is why plus Q plus minus Q, that becomes a 0. But charge is stored in either of the plate can be depends upon that battery potentials, battery EMF. Suppose if you increase a battery potential, charge stored in that capacitors also increases. So, that is why the charge stored in a capacitor is directly proportional to that potential difference. If your applied potential difference increases, potential difference developed across the capacitor also increases. So, charge stored in that either of the plate, either X plate or Y plate, Q amount that q amount of charge stored is directly proportional to that potential difference. Based on that, q proportional to v, q is equal to c into v. Before taken this equation, we are saying charges stored in either of the plate is directly proportional to that potential difference. That is why we are taken q proportional to v. Then we can take removing the proportionality, q is equal to Cv. So, what is that C? Proportionality constant. Here C is proportional constant. That proportional constant may called as a capacitance. Proportional constant C can be called as a capacitance and also named as capacitance of that capacitor. The device name is capacitor. Their proportionality constant C may called as a capacitance. That capacitance can also be expressed C is equal to q by v. Listen that charge stored in the capacitor is directly proportional to that potential difference across the plates. Removing the proportionality, we can take q is equal to C into v. C is the proportionality constant named as a capacitance. We can express that capacitance C is equal to q by v. C is equal to q by v. Based on the charge and potential difference, we can define the capacitance definition. So, capacitance of the capacitor is defined as the ratio of the charges in either of the plates to between the plates. Capacitance of the capacitor is defined as the ratio of charges in either of the plates to potential difference between the plates. That is the definition of that capacitance of that capacitor. Based on the equation, we can given its unit. So, q is the charge, it is measured in a coulomb. Unit of the charge is coulomb. V is the potential difference measured in volts. So, that is why C unit capacitance unit is coulomb divided by volt, coulomb divided by volt, or also C v to the power minus 1 is the SI unit of that capacitance, coulomb per volt or coulomb volt power minus 1. Another SI unit also we have, that is called as a farad. In generally, capacitance of the capacitor is measured in the unit of farad. So, based on that formula, C is equal to Q by V, if Q is equal to 1 coulomb, V is equal to 1 volt. If we substitute these two values, C is equal to 1 coulomb divided by 1 volt equal to 1 coulomb per volt, or 1 coulomb volt power minus 1, or equal to 1 farad. So, capacitance SI unit may taken as a coulomb per volt, or also can be expressed as coulomb volt power minus 1. Another unit we have farad, to honor one of the scientists, Michael Faraday. His name is given to the capacitance unit. When you have, then 1 farad capacitance for we have a capacitor. If it has a 1 coulomb of charge with a 1 volt potential difference, its capacitance is 1 farad. 1 farad. Anyhow, 1 farad is not a smallest value, is the largest quantity of the capacitance. It will not taken in practically. What range we can taken in practically means microfarad. Microfarad is nothing but 10 to the power minus 6 farad. Another thing we have picofarad, small p, capital F, equal to, there we have a value 10 to the power minus 12 farad is the practical capacitance value. If it is taken in a farad, 1 farad, 2 farad, it is impossible. It should be accumulated larger, very larger quantity of charges. This amount practically we can produce in a high power devices only. In a low power devices, capacitors used in the range of microfarad and picofarad only. That is practical usage ranges we can say. Then the capacitance of the capacitor can be expressed based on its area of the plates, distance between the plates, and there we have a medium between the two plates, air medium or any other dielectric medium. Based on these factors, we are going to express the capacitors capacitance. Okay. That's why we are going to express the capacitance of that capacitor based on that dimension, we can say, based on that dimension. Okay. Next, we are going to see that expression for that capacitance of that parallel plate capacitor. For that, we are going to take a same diagram itself. two parallel plates. For that we are going to take two parallel plates. That plates are named as. We want to draw parallelly, either vertical or horizontal. We can put this diagram in two manner. One is a vertical plate, X plate and Y plate. Their distance are D. Area of each plate is A. Like that we can take otherwise we can take horizontal parallel plates, X and Y plates, which are having a area A of each plate and they are placed at D distance. If you connect with a battery, this is a parallel plate capacitor, connect with a battery. Before switch on a battery, the two plates are uncharged, no charges on the X and Y plate. Anyhow, now if you switch on a battery, from X plate, which is going to connect with the positive terminal, this becomes a positive charge by the removal of electrons. At the same instant, what amount of electron is removed in a X plate, that is going to place in that Y plate. That is why if you switch on a battery in any one of the time, X plate becomes a positive. Same time Y plate becomes a negative and the charges transferring is stopped when the potential difference between these two plates are equal to the battery potential, At the time the field is exist between that plates from the positive charged plate to that negative charged plate, from the positive charged plate to that negative charged plate, field is exist. The existing field can be calculated based on that Gauss's law, Let me assume the field exists between that plates are E. We know A is the area of the plates, D is the distance between the plates. If this capacitor is connected to that battery, the process of charge transferring are completed. The field is exist between the plate, E electric field. E electric field is going to exist. This value is going to calculate based on that Gauss's law. E value can be calculated based on the Gauss's law. Based on that Gauss law's third application, if the two plates are dissimilar charged, the field is exists between the plates only. That value is E is equal to sigma by epsilon naught. Based on that Gauss's law and its third application, if the two plates are oppositely charged or dissimilarly charged, the field is exists between the plates alone. That value is taken as E is equal to sigma by epsilon naught. Sigma is nothing but surface charge density. Sigma is nothing but surface charge density, charge per unit area. So, that is why sigma is equal to Q by A. Then sigma value if you substitute in our electric field formula, E is equal to Q by A into epsilon naught. This amount of field is exists between that parallel plates. Based on the Gauss law, we can express E is equal to Q by A into epsilon naught. In this field, energy is stored, electric energy is stored, and the two plates having a potential difference which is equal to that potential difference of that battery. So, based on that electric field, there induced potential difference we can define. The potential difference between the two plates of that capacitor is defined as amount of work done to move a unit positive charge from one plate to another plate. Here from Y plate to X plate, which they are placed a d distance, which they are placed a d distance. That is nothing but a potential difference. Potential difference is nothing but a amount of work done to move a unit positive charge from Y plate to that X plate here, from negative plate to that positive plate. That is called as a potential difference between that plates. Potential difference between the plates. Okay. Based on that work done, we are going to express that potential difference. General formula in our mechanics, work done we know that work done is equal to F vector dot S vector, the force vector dot S vector. But here electric force is acting against the moving charge anyhow, and their distance is not S d, not S, that is in a d. That is why we have taken F into d. Same time we are going to define a potential difference. Potential difference V is equal to work done to move a unit positive charge from one plate to another plate. That is why W by Q, W by Q. Then for the W value is nothing but, that is a work done value is nothing but F into D. That is going to substitute in our potential difference equation. So, potential difference V is equal to W by Q. We know that W value is F into D divided by Q. Here we can take an F divided by Q into D. Force per unit positive charge is F by Q is nothing but a force per unit positive charge. V is equal to that E is equal to F by Q. Instead of F by Q, we can take on that E. That is why V is equal to E into D. That is the formula for that potential difference. In that E value we have, E value is Q divided by A into epsilon naught into D. So, therefore, V value is equal to Q into D divided by A into epsilon naught. And we have a charge storage in a capacitor. What amount of charge is stored? Q amount of charge is stored. That is why capacitance formula, basic formula is C is equal to Q by V. That Q is directly taken, V value is Q into D divided by A into epsilon naught. Q cancel, we will get epsilon naught A divided by D. So, from that we have the expression for the capacitance of the parallel plate capacitor, epsilon naught A divided by D. Expression for the capacitance of the parallel plate capacitor is C is equal to epsilon naught A divided by D. So, capacitance depends on, one is area of the plate, second one is distance between the plates, third one is medium. So, capacitance of our given capacitors is depends upon area of the plates, distance between the plates and medium, does not depends upon. On Q and V, does not depends upon Q and V. So, this is the expression for the capacitance of the parallel plate capacitor. We know that capacitor is a device used to store a charge as well as the electrical energy. It is used in many electronic circuits. Simplest capacitor is nothing but a parallel plate capacitors. Other than this, we have a cylindrical capacitors, spherical capacitor. Anyhow, here we have completed that a parallel plate capacitor. Parallel plate capacitors, their capacitance can be expressed by the formula, that is C is equal to epsilon naught A divided by D. We have derived that, and it depends upon area of the plates, distance between the plates and medium between the plates, but does not depends upon charge stored on that plates and potential difference. Why we are saying it does not depends upon the charge and the potential difference means, for a given capacitor, medium, area and distance are remains constant. If these three factors are remains constant for a given capacitors, if potential difference doubled, charges also doubled. Based on our primary relation Q proportional to V, if V is double, Q also double. If V is half, Q also becomes a half. That is why capacitance of the capacitor depends only area of the plate, distance between the plate and the medium, does not depends upon charge and potential difference. Very clear that does not depends upon charge and potential difference, because of for a given capacitors dimension is remains constant. If dimension remains constant, the capacitance does not depends upon that Q and V. Anyhow, you go through it. Any doubt in that, we will discuss in that next session. Okay. Thank you for all.